video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. Another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. It's actually been quite a few days since I've been live. So I appreciate y'all in the comment section. Appreciate everybody in the Discord and everything. You know, talking to some people behind the scenes about a variety of different stuff. So stay tuned on that. I want to talk about, shout out to Jada Black. It's a couple things I'm going to talk about, actually. But shout out to Jada Black. He did a video with talking about Michelle Beadle and Carrie Champion, talking shit about Stephen A. Smith. But everybody seems to talk shit about Stephen A. Smith. But you can't take away the fact that Stephen A. Smith is winning, and he's been winning for a long time. And Stephen A. Smith definitely, he's I don't think personally Stephen A. Smith has peaked yet. He is definitely played the plantation game and maneuvered in the plantation. There's definitely people that have done a lot worse than Stephen A. Smith as far as the quote-unquote playing the game. And it's very few people that's actually gotten as far, quote-unquote, playing the game that he has. Also, one thing I will say about, I got respect for LeBron James off the court as far as business stuff, how he's carried himself and stuff like that. But I gotta say, that was a bitch ass move, you going at Stephen A. Smith the way you did. If anybody else would have pulled that kind of intimidation tactic, if like Ron Artest or Meta World Peace would have pulled that shit, or Jay Morant would have pulled that shit, there would have been real consequences. And at the end of the day, when Kevin Gates was trolling your ass, you were trolling your ass a while back, you didn't do shit with him because you kind of knew Stephen A. wasn't going to go at you, versus Kevin Gates, you weren't sure. And I'm not saying, obviously LeBron is 6'8", and the weight he is pretty much like 40, so, we ain't act like, and he is from Akron, and I know them niggas from Akron, they are not bitch ass niggas. But I will say that was a bitch ass move what you did, like putting him in that position. That was a Will Smith move, and it's you would have never did that to a white person, and that's why I don't really respect it. You would have never. Press 1 if you can hear me. Yeah, what's up, Lowcast? Been a minute. You would have never did that to a white man, and that's really why I don't respect it. Because a white man can say anything and everything to your ass, and you would never have said that. At the end of the day, you are a basketball player. Stephen A. Smith is a basketball commentator. Stephen A. Smith may not have did well, but he did play at Winston-Salem State. This is, and I don't even think you would have did that with Skip Bayless. You would have never did that. And that's kind of why I don't respect that. I don't. And I'm sorry that your son is not what he really needs to be. I guess you got another son. I believe it's Bryce. But he got to the NBA way too early because you wanted a dream of doing the King Griffey and King Griffey Jr. thing, and you pulled your son into the NBA too fucking early. And unfortunately, this ain't a job. His performance is gonna be seen. So I get you're trying to intimidate You're lucky Bronny isn't getting the Shadur Sanders treatment. Even though Shadur Sanders, obviously they straight up colluding on him. So I just wanted to address that. But, when Steve A. Smith says something I don't like, I call that out. But basically, Michelle Beadle this has been out for maybe a week, 10 days now. Michelle Beadle had some slick shit to say about Stephen A. and she was really talking real reckless, man. She was talking about how she doesn't like him as a person. Basically, that she hopes he fails, that he's not talented, just crazy shit, the type of shit that she's not gonna get back in mainstream saying it. And the reality is, Michelle, it's kind of like, damn, Michelle, you're not Hannah Storm. You're not fucking Rachel Nichols. You're not what's the chick? Sarah Spain. You're not what's the old one, the chick that she played? I forget. I'm blanking on her name. You're not those white women. They actually know what the fuck. I'm not saying I like all of them, because some of them I got, like Sarah Spain, say slick shit every once in a long while. But she knows what she's talking about. She can talk sports. And she's not just there, mainly there because she's something to look at, because they get a thinner chick. And then not to say she's like huge, but you know, for white dude standards, let's stop. You're there because you was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. They were bringing in feminists. That's why you're there. Because that's why you were there. You never really brought anything serious to the table. And your white womanhood protected you with a lot of shit. And you had to lean on it so much that they got rid of you. And you took that fucking shot, that shot that you took at Stephen A. Smith. And look, Stephen A. Smith put it out there when he made the statement. He said a lot of times women have to ask themselves, what do they do to take it there? And yes, women do be escalating the situation. Now, as a white woman, you may have felt some type of way, as white men can pop y'all upside the head, and they have a lot more leeway to do it than black men do with black men have with black women, because everybody's always looking for a reason to lock a black man up. That's not the case with white men. So yeah, you may have felt some type of way because of that, but at the end of the day, he almost lost his career because of that. And honestly, you took a sniper shot and he survived it. So for you to still have this anger, and that's really what it is too. She's angry because she took a white, like how useless of a white woman must you be that you took a shot at a hard R in your mind, and not only did he recover from that, he became pretty much the most paid person on the network. I know that's gotta burn you, because that lets you know your white womanhood ain't worth shit. The reality is Michelle Beadle was getting paid $5 million a year on Sirius Radio. $5 million a year. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? She ain't even nothing to look at. You might as well give fucking Tommy Lauren that amount of money to talk sports. At least there'd be a couple of white boys that'd be willing to look at that. Michelle Beadle, man, how old is that bitch? Michelle Beadle is 50 years old. That means that bitch was getting paid from like 46 to $55 million a year for internet radio, satellite radio. 5 a year. She was getting 1.25 M's every 3 months. Are you fucking you could give Sydney Sweeney that, and she probably give you a more return on investment. It is so many other mediocre white women you could give that shit. Are you fucking serious? I don't think Malika Andrews doesn't get that. Fuck Malika Andrews. That chick, I forget what her name is. She ended up going to NBC because she wanted more money. She don't get that. It's a lot of white women that don't get that. Like, real fucking talk. And FYI, Rachel Maddow gets like 40 million, hold on. Rachel Maddow makes 25 million a year. Just FYI. So a lot of people be counting Stephen A's pockets. Stephen A gets paid a lot for a black dude on TV, but Stephen A don't get as much as a lot of people be getting. Just keep that in mind. And the reason why I want to talk about this is not so much Michelle Beadle, but Carrie Champion wanted to have some words. And this is why it's when you bet, that's where the title comes from. A lot of these chicks, when you look at dudes like Tyler Perry, Ice Cube, these successful dudes, a lot of these women, they play plantation games. I'm talking about black women now, and they bet against black men. And apparently Carrie Champion left ESPN, her dumbass, because Jemele Hill got booted. Jemele Hill should have always knew that her time was limited on ESPN. And what happens is, bitch, you're in sports. The fact that you all don't try to create a black male audience in sports, you You all are dumb as fuck. You all actually believe that white man is like the Tiffany Cross bullshit. That white man is just gonna pay y'all forever and forever and forever. Y'all really believe that. And a lot of y'all, I get it. See, y'all, Stephen A is a lame. So it's like, fuck that lame. That's how y'all view it. I wouldn't fuck him if he didn't have no money. I wouldn't care. But you know what? He does have the money. And he really could put a lot of y'all on, but y'all bet wrong. Y'all bet wrong. And now a lot of y'all, even with the internet, Carrie Champion is not an ugly chick, even at 50 years old. But the problem with Carrie has always had this mentality of I'm too good for black men. Or I remember when she was on I Am Acting, she talks to dudes like they're like almost like they're her children. And it's like, yo, fuck that shit. I mean, I ain't gonna say he deserved his bread. He got it. Whether we think he deserved it or not, he got his bread. Yeah, we know he wouldn't just get. We know nepotism ain't why he got it. We know that. You can hate Stephen A. Smith and acknowledge that. Those are white people that gave him that money. So clearly, he's making them a lot more money than they're paying him. Clearly. You know they not just giving it to him off the string. So a lot of these bitches, you know, they got in there, a lot of them because of their looks, not all of them, and then they're mad. Like, it's black men's job to put y'all on. It's not our job to put y'all on. It's our job to put on black women that know how to act and black women that respect black men. It's not our job to put bitches on because they exist. And Carrie Champion low-key could be getting some money talking sports on YouTube. It's a white woman on TikTok that she's in the media too. But she does exactly what the fuck Carrie Champion should be doing. Defending Shadur Sanders, calling out a lot of these white folks. But no, she didn't want to do that. These bitches want to play the game, and then when they play themselves playing the game, now they're mad. And Michelle Beadle and Carrie want to take shots. You know, because, you know, women want to hide behind feminism. Carrie Champion could easily gotten sponsored. But Carrie Champion always thinks she better than, like, they think the white boys got them. They really believe that. Oh yeah, the wall is smack. But the wall usually, I mean, she's 50. The wall is gonna smack white women in the face. It usually does. So I'm not surprised about that. Carrie Champion pushed it as far as she can. But like I said, a lot of y'all are gonna have to lean on the black community. And in sports, that's where black men dominate. And the fact that y'all is disrespectful in the sporting world as y'all are, fuck y'all. Y'all can be mad. You can live with that bitterness. Don't nobody gives a fuck about that shit. They believe that, Zaddy. They really believe that. They really bet their lives on that. They don't even hedge their bets. They don't even give like a little bit for black men to kind of hold on to. No, they just straight up show their ass. And then they think they can remix history. They think they can remix history and act like that shit never happened. Fuck that shit. Like people always say, oh, y'all hate women. No, I believe in rewarding women that are on the team. And I believe in creating a hostile environment for women that aren't. That's what I believe. That's how you do it. Not, no, I'm gonna kiss their ass because it needs to be kissed. That's what bitch ass, that's what matriarchs do. And that's the problem with black men. We have a lot of matriarchs. We have a lot of black men that are matriarchs and they just don't want to be outed as matriarchs. But they are definitely matriarchs. Matriarchal niggas that they just want to be matriarchs and undercover. We got a lot of double agents in this motherfucker. A lot of niggas that they don't want the boat rocked. They also got a lot of dudes that they benefit from this system as it is. Y'all pay attention to the tethers, but we got a lot of FBAs that are like that. This is why a lot of this shit is not complicated. We got a lot of time wasters. Lowcast is in here, or was in here. I remember he used to talk about cracking the whip. And I asked him, what does that mean? He didn't want to tell me what that meant. It means leverage. I knew what it meant then. You create leverage. And part of leverage is there's many ways of doing that without violence. Letting that chick know you can get rid of her ass. And I mean letting her know, not verbally communicating it, showing her. All these bitches they always want niggas, they want niggas that other bitches want, which means they crave that leverage. You create it. And sometimes you ain't gonna be that nigga as far as women want you. Some dudes create it with money. Bitch, I pay you, now I'm not. I pay you, now I'm paying her. Now if you do that, you gotta make sure you got your economics together to do that. That's why they don't like passport bros. I'm not saying niggas should just be dating out overseas, but you have to have all options on the table. So you can pick what benefits you. That's the point of self-improvement. It's a lot of niggas, they want to self-improve for service. They tell you to self-improve and they leave it out there so you believe you self-improve to better serve her. Fuck that. You self-improve to create leverage and you apply it. And leverage is not a bad thing. The women are always trying to create leverage on you. Leverage is how to keep all the actors honest. That's how business is done. It's always leverage. Geopolitics. If y'all don't learn nothing else from BGS talking geopolitics, leverage. Let me give you an example. Tehran is running out of fucking water. Iran. They've been fucking up their wells and they're drying up lakes and all of that. Some leverage. You think people aren't going to use that to apply leverage on their ass? Leverage. This is how white people do it. It's always leverage. What do you think the Cold War is? Leverage. Think about what they've been doing with our population all this time. Black people should have 100 million people on this motherfucker. They've been doing long-term leverage, short-term leverage. Black men want a pat on the fucking head. And Stephen A has leverage. So Carrie wanted to come back ESPN. And Stephen A probably could have hooked her up. But Carrie want to act up. So now them bitches are mad. Bitch, be mad. That don't mean shit. Black men have to learn. Black men have to learn to be comfortable with black women being in a constant state of rage. Because eventually them bitches will get tired of that shit. Shout out to Inspire Truth Broadcast. Shout out to the movement with intent facts. To moving with intent facts. Hey, appreciate that, man. Leverage. He said, I mean, people know who Coach. Look, I mean, I didn't know that. I don't watch Coach Greg Adams like that. And I didn't get this from him. But that's good. That's good. But black people know, black men know who Coach Greg Adams is. And by the way, Coach Greg Adams knows who Marty is as well. Coach Greg Adams met Marty in Brazil. And he has, you know, he's cool with Marty. I'll say that. So shout out to Coach Greg Adams. That is, yeah. But dudes leave it out there. They don't notice how everybody that advocate for self-improvement, they never explain that. Because they know that a lot of dudes will self-improve to be better fucking hoes to bitches. Even you develop, like, one of the reasons why I say passport bros is sometimes you gotta get the sessions in. Some dudes get the fuck sessions in by fucking older bitches. Some of them do it by fucking uglier or fat bitches. Shit, I say do it by going overseas. Get those sessions in and get your sexual skills in. Leverage. Black men do not try to apply leverage. Black men try to use morality. That's the problem. And that's the difference. When they say nice guy, that's one of the biggest differences between nice guys. What they mean is dudes that do not apply leverage. Leverage is everything. And women, black women, operate on leverage all the time. That is all. They're always trying to find leverage on black men or do manipulation to get leverage. Yes, O'Shea's been saying that. And I mean, I fuck with O'Shea. O'Shea got his money. So I mean, that's between them. I'm not litigating that. O'Shea said that years ago. O'Shea got his money. O'Shea makes a lot of money. I don't even know why you put that in the chat. Like, it's not my job to litigate politics between other niggas, man. I don't know why y'all like to come to my shit like I'm supposed to be like a spokesperson for different niggas. Y'all know I fuck with O'Shea. I ain't got no issue to call Grace Adams. I just never got in his content. And it has nothing to do with his content. A lot of dudes like his content. Shout out to Jeff James having Tommy Sotomayor on. I got something that's funny that Tommy said. Tommy said that you don't never see a black woman in the barbershop with a mixed kid. I didn't think about that. Yeah, but a lot of them dudes, they explain it but they don't explain it. Jason Black, he'll explain it on if you pay him $40 a month on his Patreon. But black men don't really believe in that for real. They don't. Black men do not believe in applying leverage or applying pressure on black women. They think that's abuse, and that's sad. Black men have been taught that applying pressure on black women, even passive pressure, is abuse. You're abusing them. They do. Even you not talking to them, in their mind, is abuse. If you don't give them emotional labor, you're abusing them. And black men believe that. More black men believe that than don't believe that. You date outside your race, you hate yourself. No. That's the market competition at work. Y'all, we know y'all don't give a fuck about the black community because all the abortions y'all have. So I don't want to hear the people that have killed straight up black women talking about a dude having kids outside the race when y'all just straight delete the damn entire race as a fucking ritual. Having an abortion is a rite of passage for black women. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I bet you black women have aborted more black kids by percentage than white women have that's been pregnant. If you just look at white women if you just account for non-black women that have been pregnant by black men, so we're only counting that, I bet you. Appreciate JD Aesthetic and Freeman's Journal, JD Aesthetic for the $10 cash app. And Freeman's Journal for the $5 cash app. Much appreciated. Appreciate Inspired Truth broadcast. Yeah, these conversations are not complicated. He said, what's your thought on CGA and the white boy from whatever podcast debating marriage? First of all, he's got a couple of things. Number one, debating a dude that knows what the fuck he's talking about is not the same. Somebody that's similar in age to him, and I think he might be a little older, Coach Greg Adams, with life experience, not the same as debating white bops. It's not. And dudes that are basically kissing women's ass. You're actually debating, like, I don't know why he didn't black men, like a lot of black men, it's not all black men, but there's a lot of black men he shouldn't want to debate because they know too much. You have no angle on Coach Greg Adams. Coach Greg Adams has too much life experience. So the shit he's talking about is not just some shit he picked up. And so the shit, that's not gonna work. Like a lot of that shit, and I know somebody sent me a clip where he was talking about how the black community is a matriarchy, but the black community is not a matriarchy for the reasons Andrew would say it is. The black community is a matriarchy because we've been fucked with, and we are continually fucked with today. Andrew just don't want to admit that, so he wants to pretend he's stupid on that front. We're not like the matriarchy shit is not the reason. And Andrew talk about it's a matriarchy because black men chose to not get married. No, that's bullshit. That's not true. But in his worldview, because in Andrew's worldview, racism is a thing of the past. In Andrew's worldview, racism doesn't really happen like that because all white men aren't rich. That's never been what racism was. And he knows it, by the way. And yeah, I saw a little bit of it. It looked like he got waxed. I mean, he got waxed. And I like Andrew, but Andrew, I would have told Andrew, I would have straight up told Andrew, don't debate Coach Greg Adams. Why is that? Because he's gonna wax you. Because number one, this topic, you're already in a handicap because of this topic. This topic is very hard to make. To say, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. It's not the institution of marriage that's the problem, it's the laws. And if you're gonna have this conversation, you're gonna have to, like, it cannot be, like, the argument is free agent lifestyle versus marriage. But the problem with marriage is the laws. And so by you not acknowledging that, because if you acknowledge that, you're basically giving him the win. So he should have never framed the argument like either or. Because you can be in the free agent lifestyle and then get married if they fix these laws. And y'all just talk about, but he don't want to have that argument. So with somebody like Coach Greg Adams, it's not hard. And this is what he talks about. This is like who he is. This is what his channel's built around. And the thing is, in our space, we don't have we have to be right because of who we're dealing with. We can't patriarchy our way past shit. We have to cover every flank. White men don't have to. White men can pull the I'm white and I say so bullshit. They can pull that. And then it's like, nigga, dude, you got multiple, the baby mama daddy situation. Come on, man. Dude. What did you think was gonna happen? This is like going up against Persia and you think you're the 300, but you ain't them. But you still going up against Persia. Dude. that was never gonna work. That was never gonna go his way unless he angled in what we need to do. Andrew should be talking about how to make marriage more how to vet and how to make marriage more viable. That's what Andrew needs to be talking about. But the TradCon always fall into, well, traditional conservatism cannot work in a legal framework, the current legal framework. And white people, especially when white men ain't got no money. And that's what he don't understand. And black men have been through this before. SWP talked about that. So we're ahead of the curve on this. But see, a white ego can't accept that. They can't accept that. I mean, I'm sorry. You look at the deal CGA is offering versus the deal you're offering. Even white boys are like, yeah, I'm going with what the black guy is saying. There's no fucking way I'm going to be... What Andrew is selling is essentially cuckoldry masquerading as traditional conservatism. And look, I like Andrew, but that's what the fuck you're selling, man. Stop trying to act like that's not what it is. Black men have already done the stepdaddy insurance program, and that, no. And these bitches are not grateful. I mean, like, these are things I would have knew was gonna happen. I mean, it ain't even about being exposed. Andrew typically doesn't debate like really strong, like, people, debaters, somebody like a Coach Greg Adams. He doesn't. I'm not saying he avoids them, but like the thing about the black guys, like, you know what? I would have said, if you got to debate somebody that's black, I would have said debate Obsidian, because Obsidian probably wouldn't have went shot for the kill like that. But the problem is Obsidian ain't got the fan base. So it's like the dudes, they got the fan base. They got the fan base for a reason. They don't just get the fan base, especially when you got the fan base with some of the white boys. There's a reason they're listening. It's clearly not because they look like them. So you already got to know. But see, in his worldview, black men don't have to try harder in his worldview. So it's like, dude, I could have easily told you not to debate Coach Greg Adams. That was never. And the thing about Coach Greg Adams too is he's not going to go at you from a racial standpoint, because that doesn't serve him to do that with his audience and stuff, which may make sense as to why he debated him. But there's a lot of things that traditional conservatives have to accept about where we are. Like, the truth is that they can't accept is the reason why they lost the culture war is because of their racism. What do you mean by that? Well, you basically should have siphoned off a lot of black people to where the liberals can't win without black people. But y'all want to be racist, so y'all basically forced black people to only have one party to really vote for like that. And y'all wouldn't have had to give up anything. And I know he's not like that on the right, but you get what I'm saying. But y'all would rather, y'all just didn't think the liberals would take this far. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, but you know, that's what it is. Shout out to Lesser Devious Gaming with the $20. Paul Pierce tried to talk about it but couldn't put it in proper words. He said, cheat on your chick. He was wrong, your chick. I've heard dudes say that. That's I can see him in Inglewood why he would say that. Your chick is always supposed to think all the time that you can cheat on her with the better woman. Yeah, so yeah, it's about leverage, man. It's about leverage. Why you think you got Dre and Michelle dating dude? Because it's mental leverage. It's leverage. And as far as, I appreciate the super chat. As far as what he's saying, yeah, there was a better way to say that than what he said. Because when you say cheat on your chick, the women are just gonna jump on that and be like, oh, see, but to be fair to Paul Pierce, a lot of women like that. they like that. Like, they act like they don't like that, but if you always with cheating ass niggas, then that you like that dynamic. I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. You like that dynamic, which is why you're in that dynamic. All these niggas cheat. No, that means you got priorities where if that pussy ain't singing before you even fuck a dude, you right. A lot of y'all need to be, like, women have said it. A lot of black women just need to admit that the type of niggas they want, they're gonna have to share men. Their egos won't allow them to accept that though, because they don't want to look bad in front of their quote unquote girls. So they cap. They cap like a motherfucker. I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. I'm that bitch. Because you can't say you that bitch if you share it. But tell that to NBA YoungBoy. Them bitches don't care. And he got hurt. He got hurt. Freedom Drive, I'm not sure about that, Ed. Texas is only 40% white, but the reddest state in the union. Right of center minorities keep Texas red. Well, you're talking about minorities. I'm talking about black people. Texas also has, like, the majority of citizens in Texas is Hispanic. And so a lot of Hispanics, they just support white people. But that wouldn't be the case if black people were that kind of concentration of a majority. That wouldn't be the case. That's what threads the needle what you're talking about. That's the nuance. So you can still be right, but because a lot of minorities, they see themselves as white adjacent. Black people don't have that delusion, most of us. So they think, so they vote. This is why they're so shocked at what's going on. Basically, what you're seeing with ICE is modern day slave catching. And they think a lot of them are trying to endure it because in their mind, this is what they need to be white. They don't understand that white people may let some people in, but they're not going to let them. The problem with Hispanics is Hispanics will change the culture too much. Hispanics aren't going to truly assimilate. That's Hispanics' problem. They won't assimilate enough. I get what you're saying, Freedom, but my thing, I'm talking about in general. Now, that may not be true now, but traditionally that has been true. I'm talking about overall, not like, because we're kind of in a flux right now. I'm talking about what it's traditionally been. I'm talking about if they dealt with this shit like in 2000 up until now. That's what I'm talking about. You're talking about like what's happening right at the moment. And even then, at the moment, I can still kind of contest what you're saying, but I'm talking about up until this point. You're talking about like right now to the second. I'm talking about like, you know, since I've been voting. Well, the problem is white women, you know, women are not loyal like that. I mean, my thing is, like, I've said it, Andrew can be a marriage advocate. He just needs to advocate for the laws to change. What you're essentially doing is you're pushing dudes into a situation that doesn't, like, no, you're pushing dudes into a high-risk situation. And I'm sorry, I mean, that's arithmetic. That's not complicated. We see, like, the truth is, Coach Grady Adams isn't even, what's that bitch-ass motherfucker that said that stupid shit about Kevin? But he's been saying that for the longest time in California. I forget his name. I'm sure y'all know his name. That white dude. You know what I'm talking about. Like, this isn't new shit. See, Andrew is kind of the man's rights motherfucker. But the problem with the man's rights shit is that got filleted. They lost. Because white dudes have this kind of backwards patriarchal kind of thing where they kind of back themselves in a like backdoor matriarchy through patriarchy. Like, there's no reason you should have unlimited fucking alimony. And when they want to set their daughters up and shit like that, you create a situation. Women are not reciprocating. That's the problem. And there's no way around that. Even his own situation is like a Brady Bunch situation. Tom Likas, yeah. This ain't like shit Kodrack Adams is saying is not shit. Tom Likas used to say all that shit. So you got these traditionalists that are essentially trying to act like, you know, fucking red meat ain't greasy. And it's like, yo, who are you talking to? The bitches are only gonna believe that because it benefits them, and the men know that doesn't logically square up. They're in Florida. And then all these old white women are like, hey, well, what's going on? And, you know, fuck DeSantis. But DeSantis had to say, well, this is only for future, like, marriages starting, like, X date. Like, unlimited alimony? Unlimited alimony. I'm not talking about for, like, no mega rich. I'm talking about, are you fucking serious? And these are white women. These will be the same women talking about you need to work for you. Get like these like white people love socialism. Don't ever believe white people do not love socialism. All the shit they talk about hard work, personal responsibility, that's some shit they say to minorities. They don't believe in that for themselves. Not really. As a group, they don't buy that. That's some shit. That's why, like, the young people are looking at them crazy because they're being told that by the older white men, and that doesn't queue up. Yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. The tax benefits of marriage don't outweigh shit like that. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that. That should be made illegal. Women can work and have been able to for a minute. The fuck are you doing that for? Suing boyfriends for alimony. Talk about like, you know, that's why they get mad at Big Sean and what's her name, Jenna Aiko. You know, now all of a sudden black women taking it. This bitch is everything. She's not just black. She's like German, Italian, Irish. This bitch is the whole fucking rainbow of ethnicities and shit. And but black women are caping for her. So any other day, these women will be bitching. Any other day, these women will be bitching. I mean, Andrew is not a bad debater. Andrew has his uses. I don't know why. Like, nigga, let me tell you something. I'm sorry. If you tell me, you know, y'all, like, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all be acting like I be defending Andrew. You know who y'all be fucking defending? Fucking Legion of Men. The Cowardly Lion. Y'all motherfuckers will not like Andrew, but be disappointed at that prick. Oh man, I'm disappointed in the Legion of Men. I don't know why you motherfuckers. I know somebody else that watch him. I was talking to somebody, yeah, man, you know, this dude, I can't believe he's racist. Yo, I damn near cussed him out. He didn't even know that I do this space. This is somebody in real life. I said, yo, why you listen to that motherfucker? I said, of all the motherfuckers you can listen to, you listen to that fucking dude. I almost cussed him out. Some niggas, no, some of y'all, don't say we. You can speak for yourself, Knockout. You can speak for yourself. But some of them niggas, y'all niggas be listening to that nigga. You may not defend them, but y'all be listening. That's how y'all, oh man, y'all, see, I'm not in Leisure the Man's algorithm. The only time I get Leisure the Man shit is with SWP and his fucking, puts it on his post. He reshares it on his post. I don't get Leisure the Man shit. So, I'll take Andrew 1,000 times over Leisure the Man. Hell, I'll take Andrew over Rolo. So y'all be on, it's something about Andrew y'all don't like, and that's fine, you don't have to like him. But y'all be liking other white boys that be worse. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, Andrew is in the white manosphere, and he's gonna do what he's going to do over there. Y'all not liking him don't mean shit. Y'all act like y'all are like black men are a part of his audience. They're not. So I don't know why y'all got this thing about Andrew's a hypocrite. Okay, that's between him and them white boys. I'm just commenting on what happens over there. And Andrew has been like telling them about that AIDS shit. Y'all act like, you know, black men got anything to do with Andrew's success. Andrew didn't come up under Fresh and Fit. He came over that white tea whatever show. Yeah. Like, so if we gotta categorize like which one, Andrew is not at the top of that list of white dudes. If I be like they don't need to be here, Andrew's not at the top of that list. He's not at the top. He's not second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. He's not even in the top 10 of dudes. I would want to go after Myron before Andrew. I would want to go after Auburn Preach before Andrew. Like, I don't know what is it about certain dudes where it'd be like, oh, I'm tired, he's a hypocrite. I'm like, okay, he's gonna do them regardless of you liking it or not. Y'all gotta start recognizing what you can deal with and what you can affect and what you can't affect, at least in the moment. Y'all, and this again, leverage. You all don't have leverage over him. You don't have leverage over Andrew. Andrew has 100,000 subscribers on his own channel, and he has access to a 4 million channel on the whatever show. Andrew's been on TV. Fucking Piers Morgan brings him up. So it's like, it's a waste of energy to go with him. That's why y'all don't see me talk about academics like that. Because it's a waste of energy to go with academics for now. It ain't even about, like on a lot of the red pill shit, I agree for the most part with Myron. The difference with that I have with Myron is the African American shit. And I have unique questions that you know, he basically is an apologist for white dudes. And honestly, the way I would go with Myron, I would be like, dude, you're a leech. You're not helping white boys. You're enabling them. You're enabling them to be weak. For white boys to be strong, you would have to be removed out of their ear. You're actually enabling them to be weak. Because you feed into a lot of their bullshit. You feed them their delusions and you get paid for it. And by the way, there's a lot of tether incels, like Indians and motherfuckers. Like, you have no idea how many tether incels that listen to Myron. It ain't just white boys. It's a lot of, they can't conform to the American system. They love white women, but white women wouldn't touch them with a 100-foot pole. And they get so angry that these white chicks will deal with black men at all. Dude, Alex, Don Calypso shared a video with me of a Chinese dude in Canada saying this. Talk about Indians will dry hump furniture and shit. They want white women so bad, and there's so many of them. He was talking about they let like 5 million damn near military age Indian men in Canada. Canada only got 39 million people. And I'll tell Indian dudes, oh, you better not touch that white woman. You better not to, boy, they've been waiting to scratch that, that rape itch. They've been waiting to scratch that they've been waiting to scratch that, you know, the darkies are coming itch. They've been waiting to scratch that one real good for a minute. White men and white women will fucking bond over that shit. You think these damn semi-truck things or something? Boy, you get a vivid looking motherfucker. Boy, they be like, yeah, we'll deal with the blacks later. We already got affirmative action. We can always circle back to their ass. But oh, whoa. I'm telling you, when these white folks realize how much power Indians have. All right, I'm back. Yeah, Chinese historian. Yeah, Don shared one video. So I don't know if that dude be on some bullshit, but I might add him just to see what's up. Something a little different. Yeah, hey, you know. He said the Indian dude told him, and I'm in Morrisville right now, which is known as I'm in Little India right now. Nigga, you know you in Little India when they in the, boy, they everywhere over here, man. But yeah, man. And I believe it. And then white boys don't believe in identity politics when it comes to their own. That's minority shit. With them, that's called protecting their own. That's what they call it. We're protecting our own. Ain't no identity politics. Like Vivid, it's like like again, he's gonna learn. Y'all are not gonna be. Y'all are out. Y'all are too far out here, man. Y'all are too far out here. That's the issue. Y'all are too out in the open now. And so y'all now the poor whites is gonna start to notice you. And once they figure out how much shit y'all got, they're going to lose their shit. I'm telling you. Y'all are about, they are going to bring out the goddamn they're gonna bring out the goddamn Jim Crow shit in your asses. Whew, man. R.I.P. Damn, man. Yeah. Talk about identity politics, man. Like, dude, you stupid. Yeah, they're going to crash out, man. Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay. They're going to crash out. I keep saying that because they are going to crash out. Because if they understand 42% of the motel industry, it's gonna hit them because they don't. It's not just the Chinese that are in these schools. They're going to crash out. And I'm really warning these Indians. Y'all don't understand because y'all are not Jews. Y'all cannot just hide kind of amongst them. They can see you because of y'all skin tone. The Punjabs may be all right because they on the lighter end, but the dark, y'all, they're gonna get you, man. I'm telling you. Hey, nigga, please. Like, we not necessarily. We have them in Wake County. Oh yeah, man. Indians are. Like, they got a whole town, like by the airport, like the whole airport. Man, yeah, it's a lot of Indians because of Research Triangle Park. Man, you got, dude, you have no idea how diverse the area, area there. I'm like the county, tri-county area that I'm in. You have no idea. He's not the only one that says that. A lot of races are, because I mean, but it's different than like the white dudes think their whole genetic survival is predicated on it. It's different. Nah, Myron, of course Myron's gonna tap into the raccoon content because of his history. I mean, you can take Rich Cooper over there. Rich Cooper, I've heard Rich Cooper say more slick shit than Andrew, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not, it is what it is. Like, Legion of Men stands out because Legion of Men be low-key inciting violence on black men. That's where it's ridiculous, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I feel like going through that play by play, man. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Coach Greg Adams and me have the same talking points. I mean, they debate in real time. I'll think about it. Yeah, I mean, you knew what you married. You knew what you married. I mean, Hindus, like, they have a strong culture. You didn't like, you haven't really fucked with them like you fucked with other countries. Like, Hindus really don't be I mean, a lot of them do be wanting white men, but they have a strong base in their own culture. They're not, when they deal with white men, they're not dealing with white men from a family position of weakness. They're not. Truth be told, JD Vance was a stray. JD Vance was a clean. I'm not saying JD, obviously he's a soldier. Obviously JD Vance has pulled his own self by the bootstraps. But Una saw him as a cleanup job. She thought she could get a white man on a discount. The problem is that Hindu shit, that's too foreign. And Nikki Haley could have told her that. Nikki Haley could have told her that damn sure wasn't gonna fly the Republican Party. Like, maybe you might be able to pull that shit with the Democrats. That shit would have. She was a law clerk under one of the Supreme Court justices. Man, Legion of Men is a bitch. Legion of Men is everything wrong with white dudes. Legion of Men is why white dudes be losing. Because you more worried about black men. Black men are not your problem. And honestly, a lot of groups they buy, one of the reasons they buy into the situation with black men is because it keeps eyes off of them. Black men are not economically your problem. Not now. White people make a lot of money off of black men and black male labor. Y'all have spent so much time undermining us. You all have enriched other groups that have much more intact families because y'all haven't had the ability to fuck with them. So a lot of these groups got like Indians, like they damn near assign bitches to their men. That's why they ain't got no game. Some of them do, but most of them don't. That's fucked up for CGA to say, but it's probably true. I could believe that. Most women do have higher body counts than 90% of men. Especially if you playing by the rules that America sets. Erica Kirk about to steal JD, but then again, Erica a bit hot with a lot of cats since her man been shot. I mean, you know, the thing is, I think that shit is way too bold and too open. Like, doing that like that. But then again, the Republicans, if anybody could pull it off, it's the Republicans because they depend on white people anyway. But that's a judgment issue to me. Because my thing is, you really didn't believe that this would be a problem? Who is Denise's daughter? Playing these games with these motherfuckers. The difference with Fuentes is at least Fuentes is honest. Legion of Men isn't honest. I'll be back. 1 second, I'll be back. And dude, yeah, y'all have no idea. I grew up with a couple of Indians, and truth be told, it was a couple of dudes. His name was Devendra Sarujapal, and I ain't talked to him in a long time. But that motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you something. Devendra was like an Indian version of John B. And Devendra, he didn't look necessarily like John B. But that gives you kind of an idea. I'm telling you right now, every bitch like that motherfucker. Every bitch. Black, white, Hispanic, mixed. Now he didn't run through all the bitches, but every bitch seemed like, and he was cool. And on top of that, he was the youngest, and I've thought about him, but he was the youngest. He had 2 older brothers, and they got bitches. And I'm telling you right now, if they were like the median, black men would have a problem. If they were like the median, black men would have a problem. In fact, I'd say white boys international, but they're not. They're not. And all 3 of them had game too. They were an anomaly. JD Erica Kirk, JD need a white woman to become president. Anybody running white need to be the same race to win regardless of party. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that. But I don't know what JD, I don't know. We'll see. But that's not my problem either, honestly. I get too much. The problem with JD Vance is I get too much, and I knew this might be an issue with his venture capitalist background. I get way too much. He's a pawn for higher powers, kind of from him. No, he's a wannabe white nationalist. He's one of them wannabes. But like I say, Legion of Men is a bitch. He's one of these motherfuckers that, like, the BBC wasn't here, we wouldn't have these problems. The problems you have with white women is exclusively y'all's. Y'all created that situation. And the BBC problem is really a blowback off of oppression. The YN was created just like the Superfly dude was created out of Jim Crow, and y'all fucking up our communities. Most black men would be more like Carltons if you all wouldn't have fucked with our communities and blew them up. And when I say blew them up, I mean y'all had to get help from the government. Y'all didn't do that shit on your own. Y'all had the government back you. So yeah, y'all got the black people y'all deserve. Y'all wouldn't have that. Well, y'all would still have a problem, truth be told. Y'all thought if y'all undermined us, that white women, like, that's on you. That's on y'all. I don't know, man, because on the one hand, you got to remember, Usha being Indian and America's relationship with Indians, that's not a guaranteed thing, because there's a lot of power that comes with that if he could get elected. There's a lot of power that comes with that. A lot of power. Who is Denise's daughter? You keep saying Denise's daughter like I'm supposed to know who the fuck that is. Reclaim your throne. I mean, the problem with Legion of Men is Legion of Men. There's no Legion of Men is not logical. Like he like it's almost like he lost a couple of bitches to black men and he just has a gripe that he's not telling nobody about. I don't care who these people are, man. But a lot of Indians think they white. They actually believe in that it's culture. They actually believe black people are just making shit up. They actually believe that. They actually believe white people are not pathological. They're gonna find out. Oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. No. But like that's how he act. He act like a black dude took his bitch and he's mad or cheated with a black dude. Every white woman on TikTok want a black man, period. I ain't gonna say every white woman. I don't believe that. They in my back chat like a mofo, and the ones with kids have one mixed kid, either the oldest or the youngest. LMAO, yeah. That I mean, Joe Dumars, man, don't get me started with Indian men. Legion of Men dog whistles, but doesn't have the courage to come out. Yeah, I mean, he does dog whistle. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, again, part of that is because of his audience, so he can get paper off his audience. That's part of it. Like I said, I wouldn't even know who Legion of Men is if SWP wouldn't stop sharing shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, fuck these dudes. Let these dudes live in the bullshit that they're in. That's what I say. That's what I say. I don't know why y'all are. I mean, don't read too much in that quote unquote MAGA civil war. But I will say, you know, Nick Fuentes is doing something different with how hard he's going at the small hats, because he's really moving stuff into, like, they trying to go at Tucker, but Tucker's a low-key free agent, so that's interesting. Because the thing is, like, they don't want to argue that. They just want to say everything's anti-Semitism. You're not gonna be able to keep on doing that. You're not gonna keep on just being able to shut down every conversation where it's anti-Semitism. You're not gonna keep on being able to run that play. And Nick Fuentes is one of the vanguards of that. And I don't have an issue with you know, small hats, but real talk, it's a lot of people that conversation they want to have. And for anything, that America is way too much. America is not operating like an independent operator when it comes to that situation. And, you know, very few people are willing to go through what Nick Fuentes has gone through. And Nick Fuentes is a relatively young guy. Now I swear to God, he says the N-word in my face, and I'm going to jail. I'm just telling you that right now. So he can say that crap online, thinking he funny. I'm going straight to jail. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm going to jail. Just know that. Because he getting real comfortable saying the N-word, like, because it's cool like that. But nah, I'm going to jail. That's what that is. I mess with a couple of, like as far as like, you know, it is what it is. But you just got to keep that in mind when it comes to, you know, how they move. He said them Patels. I mean, they don't need to fuck with us. The problem is not that people don't fuck with us. The problem is we keep on trying to build bridges with other people that we know don't fuck with us. That's the problem. We still economically support certain people. We shouldn't. That's our issue. We trying to morally bring these motherfuckers around. What's up, Kareem? So tired of these small hat playing the victim after past few. Yeah, a lot of these right winger are doing too much with the blackface and other. Yeah, because at the end of the day, man, when white people get mad, their default setting is to blame us. That's how they cope. But the funny part about it is that's not gonna solve their problem. They could eliminate all black people tomorrow, and you still gonna be where the fuck you at. Ain't no jobs gonna open up. It ain't gonna be no economic boom. In fact, the next day, if you would eliminate every single black person, the next day you gonna have to figure out who gonna be the new nigga. And everybody else, there's consequences. You fuck them Hispanics up too tough, they'll run to the Chinese. And white people don't have the numbers. White people don't have the numbers to be fighting a whole bunch of wars. They don't have those numbers. They don't. You fuck with the Indians too hard, again, they'll run to the Chinese. Black people, African Americans are a unique position where we don't have a national presence like that. So the first day after you eliminate every black person would be you, because truth be told, the Muslims are the one fucking white women in Europe. So it ain't no, well, you know, if black people are just not around, white people, no, that's not how that works. You got 60% of the population is Chinese. Hell, them Indians want white women more than black men do. Them Indians want white women more than black women do. I mean, black men do. Them Indians want the same bitch you want. But y'all so obsessed with the BBC because the white man wants to. The white man is jealous of the white woman. The white man wants to be on his knees sucking the black man's dick. That's really what that issue is. That's really because it's irrational. It is irrational how much they be on black men. It be like, yo, black men don't even talk about white men like that. I'm in DOC apartments. And some of my longtime nurses are Patels, and they still single moms, but because of feminism. The problem is Indians, the biggest problem Indians got right now is the Indians want to be seen. That's Indians' problem. Indians are starting to want to be seen. They don't understand the biggest advantage they had is white people are not aware of them like that. When white people really, like when the poor white people become really aware of them and they start looking under certain shit and they start seeing like how far they've gotten, that racism is going to be turned on them. I'm not saying they won't still not like black people, but that shit, they're going to see you as a foreign invader. Y'all go get that 9/11 treatment. Y'all go get that fucking 9/11 treatment. Like, for real. Y'all don't really understand that. And then white people are not gonna understand that they're not supposed to fuck with y'all because we need India. They're not gonna understand that. Y'all go get that Jim Crow treatment. And y'all not ready for that. Cause trust me, I've heard it where it'd be like, you know, Indians will move into a neighborhood. And then white people will be there, and then before you know it, ain't nothing but Indians. Because that's how quickly they'll buy as a group. And Indians will rent, they do this overseas. They rent rooms to other people. See, shit that black people don't typically do. They rent rooms out. A lot of these immigrants do that. They rent rooms. And yeah, that's a New York people kind of do that, but no, they really do that. I saw that hug, but I didn't really cover that. I know a lot of people are talking about it. I saw a Pixar trailer about it. It was funny as hell. But that's the worst thing that y'all actually believe that model minority shit? Hey. For the most part, black people have done a good job shutting the fuck up. Yeah, that was crazy. Fuentes ain't white. Fuentes is Italian and Mexican. Nick Fuentes is not white. And that's the first thing I would tell that motherfucker. You are not white. And I promise you, if it ever went down like that, you're not going to get that treatment you think you're going to get. Fuentes wouldn't do that in Chicago. Fuentes ain't stupid. And that makes sense now as to how Kanye found. Remember, that's Kanye's dude. Nobody would give a fuck who Nick Fuentes was if it wasn't for Kanye West. Yeah. And they do that shit on purpose. They make that strong smell. They do that shit on purpose to want to get people out of there. I've heard that from people I know that are landlords. Oh, it's a lot of stuff I don't bring up that I'm told on the low. Black women be the main ones pushing that shit. But anyway, y'all, it's been great, man. Yeah, we did pretty much an hour. Much appreciated. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.